Hey guys, look, I've grown my own seeds. These are the seeds from one of my zucchinis. And this is from one zucchini. I've actually cut it into 3 portions. This is from 1/3. And I chopped it into 3, the whole zucchini. 2/3 didn't have seeds. This is the 1/3 that did. And then I've cooked up 2/3 for today and tomorrow's meal, and I'm freezing the 3rd one. So here's the 3rd portion. So that one was ready to go in the freezer, and as they say, seeds are the new currency. So I'm going to give some to some local people so they can start their seeds off from my collection of seeds and start growing their own. So I thought you might like to see what I'm doing today. I'm just planting out my cabbage and cauliflower into my compost bags, which, as I've said before, these are bags that had compost in that other people had, and I actually salvaged them and I make my own compost and then put them in here in one of my rabbit cages, and this makes great growing areas. And in this area I did have lots of the red rosa lettuce, which I've let go to seed. And an easy way to get the seeds from these, if you let them all go to seed, is put a brown paper bag or grocery bag in America, and you put over the top, and then you can just break the top off or cut the top off, and then you've got all the seeds in the bag. Shake the bag and you've got all your seeds. Or indeed, if you want like this, that you haven't got all the seeds ready yet, you could put the bag over, just bend it over and shake it, and then you have the seeds. Now I need these today, so they haven't all gone to seed. So what I've been doing is picking off the seed buds. Now that's when they look like these white puff balls. And if you want to, or you don't want to destroy your plants, just get underneath them, hold tight, pull it off, and you have the white here. And then find a little container, you can drop them in, get them off your finger, and you've got your seeds like this. This is a messy version, but like now, as I've said, I want these out, all these areas. I've got other areas where I'm growing them, letting them go to seed, so I'll let those develop more. But that's what I've been doing this morning, going along all these, emptying them out of the red lettuce seeds, and then just mixing up all the earth. This is all purely my compost. There's never been any earth in my land. I've made any earth you see myself, and I'm going to plant out. Today I'm doing my cauliflower that I've been growing in cups, and these are going to go in the rabbit cage. Two reasons. One is obviously my rabbit cages, these have lids on, so when they've been planted out, I shut the lid down over the top and it detracts all sorts of things from them. And my second reason is some people in hot countries don't like to plant out cabbage or cauliflower until much later when the heat's gone. But as you can probably see, this is a fairly shaded area, so I'm going to give it a go this year to actually start them off in our high summer. And I just want to show you, because I haven't got it on film yet, that Texas Janet gave me some cucumber seeds, and while they're still alive, Janet, I want to show them to you. I did that thing where you're supposed to plant 3 or 4 seeds touching, and I've heard they don't always all take. You normally get 1 or 2, but I got 3 out of, I'm pretty sure I planted 4 together there. They're the best ones. And these are some more. These are, I'll put the label in so I can remember when I'm filming. These aren't the climbing ones. These are the, oh, I haven't got my glasses on, but these are these ones. And here's the other ones of them. So they're okay, but as I've said to you, it's like looking after someone else's babies. And then I've got a cabbage in the middle. And then these are the vine ones, but these haven't come up yet. So if they do come up, what I'm planning on is growing them around the sides of these rabbit cages, around the side of the other one, because as I say, they've got lids on top. So as long as I leave the lids free, if the vine ones do grow, I can trail them nicely off the ground all the way over the rabbit cages. So here are the cauliflowers that I've grown in my cups. So these are doing really well, and these are what I'm going to be planting out now. And also I've got some cabbages I want to plant in other areas. The cauliflower I've planted out so far in the suitcase haven't really grown very well. They are coming up slowly, but as I said at the time, I barely had any compost left, so it actually needs a lot more in there. So I might top that up if I've got a little bit more to spare somewhere, and add to those. Whereas I know it will grow well, because look, the tomatoes growing in the other side of the suitcase are doing fine. And I'm also thinking about putting some in here. This is the black trough, which I don't know if I've said in the end. I wasn't sure what this trough was, but it turns out Mike has seen one being used by builders, and it's a trough that they can mix cement or whatever in and put up on the scaffold on the platform, and they lift it up. That's why it's long and thin like that. And they actually lift it up onto the scaffold when they're doing brick building or something like this. So I think these ones I will take out now. As I say, I've got a lot more of these going to seed that I would leave to go to seed later. So let's get on with some more planting out.